a result on the road in a match that wasn't the most exciting match to watch, but it was still an Orange County Soccer Club match. Friday, I think 4:00 kickoff for us. How many of you actually watched it live? It means you probably left work or stopped working early to watch this match. I know I was someone that was doing that, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about more. And yeah, we kicked Dylan off this intro because he got it wrong last week. This is the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora. I'm here to take you through this journey. Yeah.
Just keep going. I don't know what's happening.
All right. We're having some technical stuff to start the show. Who knew? Let's bring on the one and only Dylan, who I guess doesn't like to claim us as USL champions at some point, I guess. I don't know. Dylan, how you doing?
It was just a conversation about whether or not we were still the champions. And you know what? After Friday, whatever, we're fine. I wish the league would take these things seriously and pretend that the West Coast existed or pretend that we existed. Ray, I have a question for you. Do you think the USL thinks that we're champions? Do you think that they forget that the 2021 championship happened the way that the 2020 championship didn't happen?
I feel like you were in my mind because I was already thinking when we talk about this next upcoming match, how the USL was already sort of wiping us off the face of the earth for the championship, saying that it was going to be San Antonio there. But that might answer your question there, Dylan. If the USL thinks we're champions, hey, check the record books. We were champions in 2021. It's official. It lasts forever. Thus, the star stays on the logo. We got more help here. And Dylan, you can ask questions to this help as well. Brad. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing quite okay. I actually did get to see this live on Friday. Part of me wishes I didn't. It was a little on the bland side for a game, but you know what? It's at least a point on the road.
I guess the most difficult part for us here in Orange County, the West Coast, for this match, a 4 p.m. kickoff Pacific time on Golazo, which means it's pretty much impossible to have any kind of replay of this or being able to watch it after the fact. So thus, the league is basically telling anyone that's an Orange County Soccer Club fan or anyone that's a USL Championship fan on the West Coast, hey, play hooky from work, I guess. Larry, who is also helping us out on this episode, do you agree with that statement?
USL Championship hates Orange County Soccer Club. I mean, I've said it more times.
But I mean, apparently they hate the West Coast. Apparently they hate the West Coast because you can't rewatch this match that you had to watch live on Golazo Network. Nothing against Golazo Network, but
I watched it live because I'm my ass is retired. I only work when I want to work. Now, I will say this: do we want to rewatch this match? Is there something in Dylan, Brad, Raymond? I will ask you guys the question. Does anybody want to go back and watch this match again?
To those of you guys who have not had the opportunity, I don't think you missed much other than maybe kind of the weirdest goal I've seen all season. But it's on the highlight reel on YouTube. So roll the highlights.
They don't have an opportunity to rewatch this match. So Dylan, the important question is USL Championship condoning pirating the stream so people can actually watch this match if they couldn't get off work at 4:00 to watch the match?
I'll answer this with a question. Do you think the USL's favorite club is the Penthouse Club or the Dollhouse in Tampa, Florida? Just out of curiosity.
Wait.
They care what you do with the internet because I suspect that they spend their time at either the Penthouse Club, which is literally right across the street, or at the Dollhouse, which is, I think, just one block south.
For those of you who don't know what Dylan's talking about, listen to the song Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love Larry. Whenever you like tilt your head slightly to the side, like the app is putting a blur over your mouth, so we can't lip read what you're saying. But let's get into the talk here about what you're all here to hear to listen to. Here to listen to. That's what I'm trying to say. Is the match this past weekend? We're going to try and make it sound exciting. And it was a 1-1 draw on the road. Producer Andy on the lead up to the show on social media was saying, "Hey, we'll take a 1-1 draw in this match. It wasn't the prettiest, it wasn't the most exciting, but it is a draw, a result on the road, 1 point." With Orange County dealing with injuries, key players missing, and then an injury like in the first 10 seconds of this match. Dylan, I know we've already started talking about this match and you weren't super excited about it. Give us your recap of what happened and yeah, go for there. Go for that.
Orange County Soccer Club showed that they are a team that is entirely prepared to go east and just frustrate their opposition. And in some ways, that's how Orange County Soccer Club's going to need to perform if we're going to get a second star this year. So, was it pretty? No. Is it effective? Kind of. It works better in November. That's what I'm going to go with. Also, a good amount of groping, which just is a surprise, even for the refereeing at this level.
There
That's
we go.
all I have to say.
Simple and sweet about this match, Dylan. As you can tell, Dylan really loved this match. Brad, you were a little bit more on the positive side when we started talking about this in the intro. What are your thoughts on this match, and what did you think of the goal that was credited to Bryce Jamison?
I mean, I think if the goal of the team was to limit the opportunity of the opposing team, job well done. Defense played a lot better. Big shout out to Nico Benalcazar for earning a spot on the team of the week by really just being a good lockdown defender. If the point of the game was to come out with 3 points, I'm a little baffled with the strategy because I don't think it was executed very well. Just especially in the second half, a lack of opportunities that the team really capitalized on. It seems like we're kind of in that phase of the season where the team's performing well. Like, this was definitely a huge improvement over prior weeks, but there's still something missing here. Definitely from that offensive output that we're expecting a little bit more of.
Let's talk about Nico, and let's just talk about how the injury early on to Ciota on the right side sort of maybe ruined the game plan early on for Orange County. Obviously, you had him starting at the right back. Nico was starting at center back. And early on, you have to ask Nico to swap out or switch out to the right side, bring in Vuk Latinovic into the match, who wasn't probably prepared to play at that stage of the match, if not at all in that match. I don't know if that was going to be a full rest for him. Larry, could that early injury have thrown sort of the whole game plan into a cluster mess, and thus you have to sort of throw it out the door and just play for a result at that point?
Yeah, I think so. For starters, when you're missing your captain and the anchor of your defense for now, this is what the second or third game without Tom Brewitt. You can see a difference in that defense and in our back line and how the back line and the team moving forward has performed without Tom. So, Tom, if you're listening, please get healthy and come back soon. Losing Ciota at 20 seconds into the game, man, that is brutal. That is brutal in any situation when a player goes out that soon, and Danny has to make some sort of adjustment. I mean, talk about doing something on the fly. I'm sure the Vuk was going to come into the game at some point. I think I can say pretty confidently that he was not planning on coming into the game 20 seconds into the game. As for Nico, I said this a month ago before I went on vacation. Nico's our MVP this year. I don't care how many goals anybody scores or how many assists or whatever. Nico Benalcazar has been our team MVP. Week in, week out, we can rely on him to do whatever needs to be done. It doesn't matter if they're going to put him up in a midfield position as a center defensive mid, right back, left back, center back. It doesn't matter. Nico has been absolutely amazing, and thank God we have him. So, we get these guys back and healthy. Kevin, Tom, just right in time for the playoffs would be nice because we're coming down to the wire. I mean, we've got 8 games left to go. I think 8. Is that right? That's not right. Something's got to give one way or another. So we'll see what happens.
And just Larry will be the only one that probably gets this reference, and maybe even listening on stream. But Nico is to Orange County as to Sean Figgins was to the Angels in the early 2000s. Basically, put him anywhere, and he will be productive for you. And that's what we see from Nico. And Nico got, like you said, Team of the Week for his efforts out there, which was awesome to see. Let's talk about the Bryce Jamison goal. I know some of us are saying, can we call that a goal for Bryce Jamison? It's really more the goalkeeper error. I believe the official scorekeeping when it comes to soccer is if the shot was on target and going to hit the back of the net, regardless of the defender touching it, you give credit to the goal to the offensive player. Obviously, there was a gaffe from the goalkeeper in this situation, but the shot was on target and it was going to hit the back of the net if there's no touch from the goalkeeper. Dylan, let's just talk about it. Like, it was from pretty far out. Regardless of the way it played out, it's a pretty nice goal to have in this match, right?
It is. I do wish that like Bryce Jamison's goals were coming in these maybe like more consequential moments, but like, and that's not disrespect to him. It's just that it's in these matches where we have almost nothing else to talk about. We're just like, oh, sweet, Bryce scored. And then beyond that, we're like, well, this, we played Oakland in a meaningless match. Like, oh, this kind of sucks. That being said, I've seen this goal scored plenty of times. Do I think he's just trying to cross it? Whatever. I don't really care. I'm glad he scored another goal. It looks good on the stats. No one's ever going to get in there. Yes, Brad.
Let me cut in. Who did it better? Bryce Jamison or Brent Richards a la like 3 years ago? Same exact shot.
I feel so bad for Brent Richards because I think the option I always default to is from the Bundesliga like 5-6 years ago. Definitely attempted cross. Whatever. I'm glad he scored. I hope it just gets him in that much better of a headspace, gets him that much more confident as we have this run in. We're into the last little bit of Bryce Jamison's Orange County career, so I would love it if it went out. I'd love it if he went out on top. I think he deserves that because he's been a pretty good performer on some teams that have, on occasion, been quite bad, and he's still maintained his performance levels even when the team's been quite good, and he's been kind of integral to a lot of that going down the right side.
And let's be honest, Bryce Jamison is a good guy. He's a good ambassador for this team. It's been wonderful watching him. So yeah, it's sad that we're getting down to the end of the clock here on his career with Orange County. And like Dylan said, let's go on top. I just want to get some clarification because I know we brought up the Brent Richards situation. I know that one was legit cross from Brent Richards. I think we even asked him, and he even admitted that was a cross that just happened to go to the back of the net. Do you think, Brad, that this Bryce Jamison goal was a cross as well? Was his whole point of that kick to try and hit the head of a teammate, or do you think he was actually taking a shot on goal there?
I don't know. I feel like we'd have to ask.
Okay. Larry, your thoughts. What do you think?
Absolutely, based upon his reaction, his very, very casual, yeah, I did that reaction, 100% that was a shot. He was aiming for that top left corner. He knew he had the goalie beat. He looked up, he saw it. He said, I'm going to put the ball right there and watch it go through the goalie's hands, and then I'm just going to stand here going, yeah, I did that. Like Milan's pose that he does now. Yeah, that's I know. 100% it's a shot. I'll get clarification.
So you're saying that was planned?
Absolutely.
You're saying that whole he was planning for that ball to slip through the goalkeeper's hands. He knew that was going to happen, thus the reaction. I looked at the reaction differently. Maybe Dylan agreed with me, the reaction. He might see it a different way. Dylan, did you see the reaction in a different vision.
Before Dylan answers, I'm going to say I saw the game plan. Danny Stone drew it up like that. I know Coach Stone. This is exactly the kind of play that he would draw up.
Oh,
Well
then
done,
then
Dan.
then I do not feel confident in us going forward if that's the drawn up plan, is to hope that the goalkeeper just totally butchers a pretty simple goalkeeping move. And by the way, Lexington guy, keep your hands out of your pants on the field. Dylan, the question that I asked you like 10 minutes ago.
So much has happened since then. No, I think this was absolutely correct. I think it's just trying to put it into the, as they refer to it as professionals, the area of maximum opportunity. Sometimes you mishit it. Sometimes the keeper's a little out of position because there are 20, probably 5 people, if we include the referees, they're all expecting the ball to pretty much go within 10 square yards. And sometimes autopilot takes over. Sometimes you start looking at who's there and who you might need to mark or react to, and then suddenly you look back at the ball and it's over your head. So, yeah, I'm going to go with accident on this one. Maybe we should put a little bit of money in. Just kidding. Don't bet on sports. And we can just ask him in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we can. The way I look at his reaction, I look at it 100% differently than Larry. Is he knew that the only reason that ball hits the back of the net is the goalie made a big mistake, something that 99% of the time, even more, 99.9% of the time, the goalie is catching that and being a routine save, right? So I think Bryce's reaction is, hey, it was luck. Nothing of my doing. If the goalie doesn't mess up, that's not a goal. But, he also isn't going to sit there and like say, no, ref, that was a mistake. Give it back to them. That don't count it. So that was my look on it.
Josh writes in the comments saying that it was a cross. He raised his hand. Yeah, I mean, this is Tim Howard once scored a goal. It's kind of the same thing. Like he boots it forward and the wind caught it and he ends up scoring. And
yeah, and then he refused to celebrate. I remember that one.
That goalkeeper union is just. Larry, I mean, you're a man that likes balls being flung at you or whatever for fun or money. I don't exactly know what you do with your free time. Both. That's great.
Oh, jeez.
Goalkeepers are absolute psychos, man. Like, of course he's not going to celebrate that one. They stick to with each other. So
we got to move on. We got to move on from
we
this.
Probably should.
No, we don't.
There's nothing to really talk about in this game. We can just
There
discourse
is.
about this instead.
There's
Go, Larry.
absolutely something to talk about. Producer Andy mentioned it in the comments. Ashton Miles and that clearance off the line, the goal line clearance, is absolutely fantastic. Ashton has, as much as we all love Tom Brewitt and how he leads, Ashton has been maturing week by week, and you can see it in his play. And he was incredibly solid this game. I don't know what his game match rating was. I'd have to look it up, but I've got to think it's got to be way up there. For him not to get consideration for Team of the Week along with Nico is actually kind of a surprise to me. So, shout out to Ashton if you're out there watching. Hey, buddy, man, great game. Another fantastic performance. Keep doing it, kid.
Perfect. Love that you remember to bring that up, Larry. With that said, Orange County gets a result, at least on the road. And we talked about last week, a tough trip. It's not easy to get from Orange County to Lexington, Kentucky. I always look at their name and I want to say South Carolina because of the SC, but it's Lexington, Kentucky.
Quick question.
They get the result.
Do you also look at our team name and think Orange County, South
Carolina?
Because if so, you should be an announcer in this league.
I should be an announcer in this league. Okay, I'll do that.
Yes.
Orange County, South Carolina is what I will start saying from now on. The first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County, South Carolina. But we get the result. Unfortunately, that keeps us in 9th place in the Western Conference. But if you look at the standings, we have at least one game in hand against every single team that's above us in the standings, I believe. So, and some of those teams, we have two matches in hand. And if you look at the standings, we're sitting at 29 points. I believe 4th place is at 33 points with San Antonio FC, who is our upcoming opponent that Orange County has. And this is a big opportunity for them to gain some ground and jump up a few slots on the table. And again, they have matches in hand, which is beautiful. Thoughts, Dylan?
Yeah. Look, 1-1 and the 0.1 XG that both teams accumulated on Friday it is truly the muscle memory of oh, look at that 0.2 xg that Orange County accumulated. Love that for us. Was it ideal? No, but thanks to pretty much every other team in the league also not doing a lot, we kind of held pace. It helps that Lexington obviously is ahead of us on the table. Phoenix managed to salvage a draw against a pretty woeful 10-man Sacramento. So it's possible. It's hard to. I should be more kind. I think I was very harsh on Lexington a couple weeks ago. It's hard to draw differences between these teams when, from an extra match, San Antonio's managed to win one more match. They're 4 points ahead of us. They have a goal difference of positive 1. Even New Mexico's on 33 points. They've got 2 more wins, but a completely even goal difference. So it's kind of chaos here. And look, even if we can't get a win, when we're on the road, if we're somewhere difficult, if things just aren't going to plan, if the initial game plan is apparently thrown away after 20 seconds because their starting right back gets hurt, but it also somehow includes scoring a goal just like that, cool, as long as it includes keeping pace with everybody else. So I'll put it this way. I'll forever hate San Antonio like I hate the USL because, 2021. And they, just for anybody who doesn't remember, they weren't there in St. Pete in November, but we sure were.
But the signs referenced
signs.
San Antonio.
But
That was the hard. That was the painful part, right? So Orange County gets the result. They now have to face San Antonio on the road. It's a good opportunity for Orange County to move up the table. You definitely have to probably look at this one, even though it's a road match. And I always say road, get a point. Home, get 3. This is probably a big one that you want to get 3 points, right, Brad?
Yeah, 100%. Need to get 3 points at home this week. I don't
Is
know
it at
what else
home?
we need to be.
No.
Well, we
Only
have
road.
a game in hand. Like we keep saying, 9th place ain't gonna cut it, so we got to figure it out.
So a
Way to
road
pivot,
match
Brad.
in San Antonio is not going to be easy. Larry, can they get 3 points in San Antonio? And if so, how are they going to achieve that?
Let me take half a step back. The announcer right at the end of the Lexington game said Coach Stone needs to take his team and run back to Orange County with the 1 point. I completely agreed with that. The guy was right, and that's what we did. Can we get 3 points in San Antonio? Yes, we can. Absolutely. I believe that we can go to San Antonio and we can get 3 points. Will we? Let's wait and see who we get back from injury. Again, we talk about this every year. We seem to have a team that just gets decimated by injuries, and we are missing so many key players right now. It's painful. It's painful to watch. San Antonio is not that much better. San Antonio is not the powerhouse that they were 2 years ago. Excuse me. So yeah, can we go in there and get the 3? I believe so. I hope so. If we only come out of there with 1, I'm okay with that too. We don't get 3, let's get 1. Let's stay on pace. If we do get the 3, though, San Antonio is 2 points in front of us, 4 points in front of us with a game in hand. So, we leapfrog right up there back into the playoff hunt with 3 points.
So really quick, if we get the 3 points against San Antonio, they're 1 point ahead of us with us having a match in hand. So
we will still have a match in hand
math,
at that
y'all.
point. Yeah.
There's math, y'all.
Yeah.
Dylan, what do we need to see, or what does Orange County have to do, or what does San Antonio have to blunder on, or what mistakes does San Antonio have to make for Orange County to get these 3 points on Saturday?
Well,
That's a question, by the way.
On Saturday. I love that. Look, this isn't April Orange County Soccer Club, so I'm not going to say that the other team has to throw the match for us to get anything out of it. San Antonio won 5-2 at the weekend. Albeit they were down 1-0 going into the half. Loudon had a man sent off. San Antonio came back out, scored, conceded an own goal, and then scored and then scored and then scored. So clearly San Antonio not giving up, willing to really pounce on mistakes. Orange County has to be a little more active in this one. It can be, we're going to make them take shots from 25 yards out, and hey, you have to beat a whole bunch of bodies in the way. You have to beat Cadona. You have to beat Shuttler, whoever's back there. You have to get it on frame and try and beat us, essentially. You have to earn it. Or we can go out and we can say, well, this is how we constructed the roster. It's Ange ball or whatever, and we're going to see a 6, 7, 8 goal match, which I don't know which I would prefer in this situation. So, Brad, would you rather see another 1-1, or are we going for an absolute shootout, like a Western film? I wish I could do the bird call thing. That, Brad, please just take it.
Another 1-1, or what was the other option I had?
An Old West shootout, like a eagle caw or something.
I was gonna say I feel like Dylan said a bird call.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna try and do it because I don't want to have to live with the evidence of the noise that I can hear in my head. But like it's very stereotypical Western scene.
Wow, 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 wow.
I can give an answer here, Dylan.
Thanks, Ray.
Obviously, for watchability's sake, I'm hoping it's a shootout. But for like sanity and like how things should go, like, do we want a repeat of a couple weeks ago, that 4-4 draw where it's like we just kind of sat back and we were like, wow, this game is something? Or do we want a low XG game like this past week? I think I'd rather the first, although I don't think that that's necessarily the better performance for the team.
Here we go. I'm going to tell you what I want. I want a 10-0 victory for Orange County. That's what I want. Now, is that what we're going to get? Probably not. Being more realistic on there, this is going to be a tough match. Like Dylan was mentioning, San Antonio's most recent match, they did well. Orange County has been in battles. I'm hoping that Orange County can come away with a full 3 points, because obviously it's amazing on the table for the team, jumping up really high depending on some other results, and still, again, having a match in hand, maybe 2 on some other teams. So that's the big hope. We need to see some scoring. Obviously, that's the way it's going to happen. You score more goals than the other team. That's how it happens. So we need to see some scoring. I'm not anticipating a clean sheet for Orange County. I'm thinking we're going to at least concede 1 goal, maybe 2. So that means we have to score 2, maybe 3 or more. So that's what I'm looking at from this match. Any last thing before we get to our score predictions? Anyone want to say anything? I don't think so. Dylan, maybe?
No, I'm just going to say I've got faith in this club. I'm hoping for a Wild West shootout. Someone on the broadcast calls it that. Feel free to send me an email. I'm saying 4-3 Orange County. Larry.
Well, really quick before Larry gives a score, I need to remind producer Andy, he needs to get a sound clip of me doing the Wild West shootout noise, because that could be something we can have for future use. Larry.
Well, I started a little trend there some weeks back before I took off for a month. So I'm just going to have to go back to it because it worked. You guys ready? 5-0 San Antonio.
I'm sure Dylan is.
Get off the
I know
show,
Dylan
Brad.
was ready for
Get
that.
off the show. It's not going to be 5-0 San Antonio, but I still got to say it out loud.
Brad, what's yours?
I'm going to say 2-1 Orange County, and that's only because I do think the offense will get it back on track again this week.
Hey, offense is going to get it back on track, and we're going to get a goal from one defender at least in this match. 4-2 Orange County. 4-2 Orange County is my prediction. I'm going big.
Ray, what defender is going to score for Orange?
I can't tell you. I cannot tell you which defender is going to score.
Just take the segue and run.
Yeah.
Please.
I know. Take the
Come on,
segue.
man.
Go for it, Dylan. Take the segue. And what defender do I think is going to score, Dylan? Go for it.
Could we just bring him on, please? Ladies and gentlemen, left back, midfielder. He does
Striker.
it all, really. Right back at one point. U.S.
Every
national
position.
team man, Pedro, and my apologies. I would love for you to correct me in a second. Guimaraes?
Pretty close. Guimaraes.
Okay, that's okay. All right, it's
English
fine. It's
accent,
fine.
yeah.
We were
gonna keep
guessing
going.
by what your mom had said a year and a half ago, so everything's fine. Thanks, Pedro's mom. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me, yeah.
I'm just gonna jump right into it because we don't want to keep you up too late. I'm sorry, that's probably the last comment I'm gonna go.
That's not
young.
cool.
Pedro, how was your experience with the national team?
It was great. Going to national team camps is always a good thing for you and obviously like your resume. I think going there you take a lot of experience, especially going away so far from home. I would say the results weren't our way, but I think we're finding our groove still and still preparing for World Cup. So yeah, pretty excited.
Do you feel? Let me rephrase it this way. Now that you've kind of made it as a professional, I mean, you've, I think, 14 appearances with Orange County this year, just in the league. How do you feel that prepares you at the national team level compared to a year or two ago?
No, for sure. I think playing with a lot of the older guys definitely shows what level you're at when you come back to around the people your age. I think putting in the work with them every day kind of shows you, kind of helps you and brings your confidence up towards like when you come down and play with people your age, you kind of see like what level you're at. So that definitely helps.
Wonderful. Is there a player or two or a member of the coaching staff that day in, day out at Orange County helps you most, or that you're trying to model your game or professionalism after?
No, definitely Ryan Dogman definitely helps me out a lot. And Deckel, one of the assistant coaches, we always try to, talk and have these conversations just to kind of bring my confidence up and try to mimic my game off them, try to become the best version of myself.
I love that. Deckel was a center back, if I remember correctly. It's been a
Correct,
long time.
yeah.
So, okay. Do you see yourself as more of a defensive-minded fullback, or where do you fit in?
No, I think definitely on the other side of the field, more attacking minded. I'd say I definitely enjoy playing more up the field more, and it's definitely something that's one of my strengths in my game.
I mean, it makes sense. We've seen you score, and it didn't seem like a fluke. Actually, speaking of flukes and scoring, do you think Bryce meant his goal on Friday night?
That's something you're gonna have to ask him. I'm not gonna speak for him.
I'm sad. I was hoping you were going to let us know. Pedro, I trying to. Yeah, I'm just gonna get. I'll ask my last question before I hand you off. What's your favorite vegetable, and how are you preparing it?
I would have to say steamed carrots that my mom makes.
I love it. Shout out to your mom, longtime listener of the show. What
Hey,
are the other gents?
Pedro, about 4 different times over this season alone, I have said to you after a game, man, we got to get you on the show. And your response every time has been, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. So we are all so glad that you are here finally tonight. So, on behalf of all of us, welcome. Great having you here. Now, I'm sure that you're not aware, but I have a son who is literally your age, 2 weeks younger than you. He's a lacrosse player, which means, I failed as a father, but that's not important right now. Him and I were talking about his senior year coming up and him playing, his varsity lacrosse and talking about CIF and going to the playoffs. And I asked him what that would mean to him. And he's like, Dad, that's everything. That's what I've been waiting for. That's what I've been working for. Now, you have that opportunity to get to the playoffs as a professional athlete. What will that mean to you this year? This year, and so early in your career.
Yeah, I'd say first of all, congrats to your son, and I'd say it'd definitely be a big part of my career. Last season we made the playoffs. I didn't get to play in the first game, and I wasn't rostered for a second game. I had a national team camp, so this would definitely be the first part of my career where it's like it's win or go home, and it's definitely a big learning step for my career to kind of get through.
Got it. Now, let me ask you this: you're still a very young man. You're 17 years old. At what point? How long ago was it when you realized, you know what? I'm really good at this. I'm pretty damn good at this game. I just might be able to, make a living at it for some years. When did that realization hit you, and how did it hit you?
I kind of always grew up playing soccer, and I never really changed it to any other sports. So I think that was my goal since I was really young, and yeah, I just kept striving and going through everything, the ups and downs. But yeah, it's all been paying off. So
Absolutely, no question. Um, Last question, if I can remember what the hell it was that I was going to ask you, because I'm old and I forget stuff. That's what we do. Your dad can probably relate. He's about my age. Um, what do you think has attributed to your personal success? I mean, getting called up to the youth national team more than once. I think it's been a couple of times now, right?
yeah.
Um, when you got that very first phone call or email or text or however it was, what was that feeling like in the household?
Yeah, I think after getting the first one, the second and third kind of come easier, just like scoring. After the first goal, it's a lot. It feels more easier and like natural. So after the first one, I think it gives you more motivation to keep going, and then the second and third one comes in, and you can only go up from there. So I think after the first one, it definitely kind of gives you this confidence to keep going, and then the rest comes from there.
Nice. And what do you think? 2020 or 2030 World Cup U.S. men's national team.
Hopefully, we'll
We
see.
gonna see
We'll
you.
see. Hopefully, that's the goal.
I think Brad has a couple of questions for you now. But Pedro, hey, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. We're loving it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take my turn. We've been trying to get you on the show for quite some time, Pedro. I
Yeah.
hope you can recognize that. So it's very nice having you on the show. Um, my first question for you is, going to these youth camps, to this USMNT, a couple of them are international. How do they get you there? Do they send you in style, or are you
Oh
kind of
no,
in the
did
cattle
I?
car like the rest of us?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? You kind of lagged on my end.
Oh, did I cut out there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. So when they send you to these U.S. national camps, do they send you first class, or did they send you in coach like the rest of us would go?
Unfortunately, it's economy. I wish.
What's been your favorite place to travel to? I know you've been called up a couple times now. What's been your favorite travel location?
Not too long ago, we went to Spain. We spent 1 or 2 weeks over there playing a couple games. That was definitely one of my favorite parts. Just kind of being around the beach and hot weather is kind of my vibe. I also liked going to Costa Rica in February. So yeah, I'd say those two are probably my favorites.
And then since Dylan stole one of my two questions by asking you who you modeled your game off of, I have to ask my other backup question, even though it's not a backup question. You're a product of the Youth Academy, and we've had many a player on the show who are from the Youth Academy, and I always ask, who is the next quote unquote next wave member who's going to make a big mark on the team, if not the league?
Yeah, no, we've been kind of investing in the youth lately. So I think there's people like Apollo who we just signed, Tyson, Gavin. I think once those players make their name, I think it can only go up from there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how they can develop as a player too.
All right, thank you. And since we're in the mood of stealing each other's questions, Dylan, I'll go ahead and ask one of Ray's, who has yet to ask a question. Who in the locker room has the best taste in music, and who has the worst taste in music when they take the aux cord?
I'd say best taste is probably Chris or Nico. Worst taste probably well, not everyone plays, but when they do, probably Mo.
We could tell Pedro doesn't like the Japanese pop music, right? Or whatever Mo's playing on the aux.
Yeah.
Pedro, let me ask you this question. And this comes from playing as a 16-year-old against grown men on the pitch when you started with Orange County last year. How has that been for you? Like, how did you adapt to that? Obviously, when you're playing against people your age, it's different than when you're playing against legit 30-year-olds out there. And how has your interaction been with some of those opponents, knowing that some of them are literally twice your age when you're facing them?
Yeah, I kind of first few days of when I was at Orange County, I kind of got a welcome to the league from Dylan Powers, kind of pushing me off the ball. We had a little brawl there, but I think after a few games, it becomes more natural and easier for you, and you kind of just build your confidence, and then you become less and less nervous and scared of whoever you're playing against, and you kind of feel like you're one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I will say from when I watched you early on, I think you can go back and find the tape of our shows from last season. I always felt like you looked like you belonged at this level, even physically. You looked like you were ready for that. Maybe that's thanks to someone like a Dylan Powers for just sort of throwing you into the deep end of the pool and just showing you, hey, kid, you're going to play at this level. This is what you're going to have to fight through and learn how to deal with. And I've loved watching you with some of that, which has been pretty awesome. We have a couple fan questions real quick before I get to my last couple questions here. What one of them, I guess, let's see. What do we have here? Joseph Figueroa, was OCSE part of your journey in your career, or did that just sort of present itself and it just happened?
No, I think so. I was at LAFC Academy for a bit, and at the end of the day, it's all about your career and where you think you can be, and hopefully, I think everyone's dream is to play in Europe at the highest level. And I always thought USL would be a great route to kind of go through to, especially Orange County, to try and get to the European environment.
No, that's an awesome answer. And it sort of segues to a similar to a question I wanted to ask you. Obviously, most players your age, Orange County isn't the finish line. This is the stepping stone to get to that finish line. For Pedro, two questions. What would be like the player that you're looking at? Like, I want to have a better career than this player, and I really feel like I can do it. And a second follow up to that is, what would be your dream like destination to hit the peak point of your career?
For the first question, I think I always try to model my game off like someone like Marcelo. I grew up watching him a lot, or Danny Alves. Obviously, he's on the right side, but those two were one of my idols growing up. So I would say, yeah, trying to kind of be in their pathway and try to achieve what they achieved is something big. And for this, I'm sorry, could you repeat the second question?
Like, what would be your ultimate dream? Like, your career goes the way you
Yeah.
want it to go. Where are you ending up at the peak of your career?
I always liked Barcelona growing up. So who knows, maybe playing in Spain or in Barcelona one day would be definitely one of my dreams.
It'd be beautiful to see if we could see you wearing a Barcelona kit or any kit really
Yeah.
from Spain or any of the big leagues. We'd love to see that. Now, this next question, I'm going to ask you to ignore my co-host because they're going to give me a lot of bad looks for this, and I'm going to go selfish on here. I have my son, 13 years old, plays club soccer at Laguna United. He's actually just recently transitioned to playing a defensive role, right back.
Mhm.
He always played striker or the number 10 role. Now he's been playing more defense. What is your, I guess, suggestion or your just recommendation to a player like that that's transitioning from mainly striker? Now they're going to be focusing on defense. What tips do you have for a player like that?
No, I think the mental side is very important. There's going to be a lot of, especially changing positions. It's not easy. I've done that a few times already. So I think just trying to get through the ups and downs. And I think at the end of the day, everything's going to be all right. Like, you're going to try to strive for more ups than downs, but at the end of the day, you never know what you have in store for you. Like, maybe that's the better option for you than playing up front at striker. So I think just trying to get through that part, and then everything will just come from there.
And it like you said, like you like to be involved in the attack. And I think modern day soccer, those right and left backs, they're not just playing defense anymore. They're actually joining the attack, getting far up, scoring goals like you are. So that's what I'd love to see from him and any other young players that are learning how to play position like. So I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Last thing I'm going to do, and then I'll ask my co-host if they have any. Dylan, I think you have one question you want to ask really quick.
I was just going to keep hitting some of the fan questions. First off, thanks to everybody for asking questions. Pedro, who do you think is the biggest threat on San Antonio's offense?
I know their number 9 has been, or the whole team in general has been pretty. They've been on a pretty good run so far. I think one of their number 9s has been scoring a few goals lately. I'm sorry, but I don't really know his name. But
Neither do we.
Yeah, that's fine.
um, but I know he's been on fire recently, so it's definitely going to be a good stretch for us.
Hopefully you don't have to man mark him because that seems
Yeah.
a little bit unfair. You'll be quite out of position if that's the case. How often are you guys practicing penalty kicks?
I personally don't. I know some of the other guys do. I unfortunately won't be, or we'll see. But I don't think I'll be taking a penalty kick anytime soon. But no, every time we can, we try to get a little fun in. So we do a little PK shootout every now and then.
Nice. Well, hey, whatever counts for the end of the year. I think there was one final one. Do you see yourself? Where is it? Somewhere. Do you see yourself? Do you enjoy? I'm never gonna find it. Oh, your teammate asked, where is your favorite place to play other than the champ? And now it's Gavin, who could probably just ask you that at training tomorrow. But please.
No, thanks, Gavin. I'd say Lexington was actually pretty nice to play in for USL Club. I think their field is pretty huge. I'm not gonna lie, but no, their atmosphere and their field surface was good. So I'd say that.
Nice. All right, Ray.
All right.
Torture us some more, bud.
No, the last thing we're going to do here, I do this pretty much with every player that joins us, or most of the players that join us. I do 10 quick this or that questions. You just got to give me your first reaction, your first answer. Don't think about it too long. Are you ready for this?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. So first one, binge watching a series or going down a TikTok rabbit hole?
TikTok.
All right. A huge party with everyone you know, or just a chill night with closest friends?
Chill night with closest friends.
All right. Epic road trip or tickets to your favorite artist?
Tickets to the favorite artist for sure.
Curated Spotify playlist or just listening to a full album front to back?
Spotify playlist, the first one.
All right. Staying up all night to perfect an assignment or going to sleep and turning it in as is?
My mom's watching, so the first one.
You're such a pro, Pedro.
Best answer ever. Shoes, comfort or style?
Style.
Quick FaceTime call or texting back and forth for hours?
FaceTime.
A career you're passionate about or a career that guarantees you financial stability?
Passionate about for sure.
Your go-to fast food or a perfectly cooked home cooked meal?
Perfectly home cooked meal for sure.
Because mom is watching.
Yeah.
Hey, he said steamed
last-
carrots. So
Yeah. Last one for you. Losing track playing a video game or losing track reading a good book?
Video game.
And what's your go-to video game, Pedro?
I haven't been playing recently, but probably FIFA or Rocket League.
FIFA or rock? So simulation soccer or cars playing soccer is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
So something soccer related.
Hey, new
Awesome.
FIFA game comes out in 10 days.
Get it right,
Oh, yeah,
Larry.
that's
It's now
right.
EAFC. It's not
Whatever.
FIFA
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm
They
sorry,
lost
I'm
the
sorry,
license.
Yeah. That's correct.
No, I'm going to call it Larry. You don't have to say sorry, Pedro.
Pedro,
He's the professional here.
last one here: red or green sauce on your tacos, or whatever. you put
Red
them on.
sauce.
Red sauce. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was going to say, is this where are we getting this New Mexico theme in here, Dylan? Really quick, Pedro, before we let you go, do you have any message to the fans for the remainder of the season? Yeah, go for it from there.
No, yeah, I think we hear and see you guys at every game, every training, every social media post. We see you guys, and we hope that you guys continue your support for us throughout this end of the season. I think the table's pretty tight, so anything you guys can do to help us is always appreciated. So yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Everyone, let's give a big round of applause to amazing young defender for your Orange County Soccer Club, Pedro Guimaraes. Pedro, as always, thank you for jumping on the show. We look forward to talking to you again soon. And Dylan's giving the bad look because I already butchered your name. And you tried to teach us, but I'm horrible at this stuff. I'm bad at saying things the right way. And Pedro, last season I got to speak to your dad for like a minute or two in line at the stadium one time. Tell him, great conversation, and looking forward to talking to him and you again in the future.
Of course, yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks, Pedro.
Awesome. Dylan, you give me a hard time. I can see it in your face, in your eyes. What's going on?
It's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna call him Pedro G. His mom liked it. That's good enough. Hey, if mom's home cooking is good enough for him, then why should her name?
Steamed carrots, man. Steamed carrots, Dylan.
Just want to say some pretty great players in Orange County's history have picked carrots. Richard Chaplow, more recently Nico Benalcazar come to mind. But we've had
That's because most vegetables suck.
Hey, it's okay to be wrong, Larry.
Dylan,
I wouldn't know what that's like.
You know what we need to do, Dylan? I got an assignment for you. You got to go back through our archive of episodes, and I need you to create a spreadsheet of all the players that have answered that question and what the answer was, so we can see what percentage goes where. That's your assignment, Dylan. Brad, I'm not gonna look upside down to see what your hat says, so don't try and confuse me there. Larry, I'll go to you.
Yes.
Any soccer-related stuff that you want to discuss before we wrap things up today?
Like anything soccer at all, I can talk.
Sure,
about
go for it.
Soccer at all, I can talk about.
Or you could skip.
I'm not going to skip. I mean, you can even give me a second to talk and give me the microphone. I'm going to take the microphone. You'll notice I have my Sunderland Black Cats, the new all black kit on tonight. And these guys only need 30 points to stay up in the Prem. That's it. They've played 4 games. They got 7 points. They have 34 games to get 23 more points, and we stay in the Prem. Unlike Luton Town and those other places that, just came up and went back down. So, away the lads. Let's go.
And throwing shade on you, Dylan.
And I'm very excited that I will actually get to hang with Dylan up in Sacramento for the October 1st game, the midweek game. I'm heading up there for that, and Dylan and I are going to we're going to tear the roof off of that place.
We're going to eat so many vegetables.
Hey, Brad.
We're not.
Can you teach Larry how to properly pronounce the name of that city?
I believe the proper pronunciation is excremento.
Yes. Brad, do you have any soccer-related stuff you want to talk about before we wrap things up here today?
Soccer related, I'll save some time for you to talk about Kieran's team and Tottenham. So go ahead, Ray.
Kieran's team.
Who?
Who's Kieran?
Your son's team.
Oh.
What,
I'm
Ray,
kinda
you don't
close.
even know your own son's name? What's the matter with you?
Go ahead, Ray.
What?
Go ahead, Ray.
Am I
Go ahead,
confused, Dylan?
Ray.
Dylan, am I confused here? Am I forgetting my son's name?
No, we were on the same page here.
Okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
So I got a couple things soccer related to talk about. First of all, Champions League football is back in Europe, and my Tottenham got a 1-0 victory today, courtesy of a major goalkeeping blunder. So I will take that. That's always awesome to see. Before I give you my second soccer-related thing, if you've liked this episode and if you liked what we've had to say, make sure you go ahead and give a big thumbs up or a big heart or whatever the option is on whatever platform you follow us on, listen to us on, and all that stuff. Follow us on social media for all the latest stuff as well, and we appreciate that. My second soccer-related thing is this Saturday, the 20th, my son's team for a league match, one match. I'm going to have you guess, where do we have to go play, Larry?
Cleveland.
Oh, wow. That would be horrible for a 13-year-old match.
Is that Kieran's team?
For one match. Yeah, Kieran. Brad, what do you think? Let's be a little bit more. It's a little bit closer. I could tell you Larry's really far off.
Are you going to get some green sauce in Albuquerque when you go for your son's match?
That is closer, but that's still quite a ways away, although I may prefer that to where we have to go. Dylan.
I think Kieran Gibbs, Kieran McKenna, Kieran Tierney, Kieran Trippier, Kieran
Culkin.
There's probably another one I'm forgetting here.
Where are we playing, Dylan? Don't name all the Kierans.
I'm going to steal producer Andy's guess, which was Temecula, because that's my best guess. But also, I cannot
That
believe
is-
that you have not once, but twice tonight decided to talk about your son's youth soccer team.
Oh yeah, obviously. You welcome me back to the show, Dylan. You were the
Kieran
closest. You were the closest, Dylan, but it's actually a little bit closer in your direction. We have one match this weekend. It is a 10:45 kickoff in Bakersfield for a league match for my son. Yeah. For those of you just listening to audio, you heard Larry's laugh. Understand the laugh there from that.
I would rather
From South Orange
sandpaper
County
a
to
Bobcat's ass in a telephone booth than go to Bakersfield.
3-hour drive from South Orange County to Bakersfield on a Saturday morning for one league match, not a tournament, one league match. Thank you, EA2, for that. But with that said, random thought, Dylan.
I'm just glad that we're just giving up on all names at this point. Also, if you don't watch, you should, because right now Brad looks like he just stepped off of a golf course
With an upside down hat.
Yeah, he looks like he's just fresh out of Plano, and I'm not here for it. So,
Larry, random thought.
I got to say, honestly, all jokes aside, it's nice to be back after a month off. It's nice having, guys, I'm sorry, I have to say it. It's nice having Ray back. I tried to host this show. I did an incredibly meh job of it. It's hard. For those of you who are out there watching, who watch week in and week out, Ray makes this look really easy. I thought it would be really easy. It wasn't, but, hey, we tried. So, Ray, no more vacations for you, ever.
Brad, random thought.
I got a couple because I've been saving them for your return. First of all, the hat says The Struts. The Struts is a band based out of Derby, England. Very good band. Saw them live for the second time on Friday. Second random thought is Pedro said that he would prefer FaceTiming over a long text. Well, I remember when texts cost money to send each text, so you'd have to shorten your letters and abbreviate where you can, and Larry's out here thinking smoke signals was how he communicated when he was a kid. So you know what? I'm kind of getting to that age where I feel super old. And then last but not least, my dog's adorable and I love her. That's totally random.
All right, my random thought, and this is for Brad and Larry. Dylan, I know you know this, but Brad and Larry, the answer was key in. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You were wrong. With that said, I want to thank everyone on this
Karen
episode.
now forever.
Yep, it's Karen.
Karen.
What's up? What were you saying without talking to the mic, Dylan?
oh, nothing. That's for those who can watch and read lips.
Okay. Well, I want to thank my co-hosts, Dylan, Larry, Brad, my producer, Andy, and Dylan. Thank our guests, since I am bad at pronouncing names. Go for it.
Hey, shout out. Thank you, Pedro, for being here, and Pedro's mom. You're real into that. Just got a little bit weird. I'm really sorry, but look,
Dylan, you messed it up. You messed it up. You said we're going to say
names.
You said we are going to go with Pedro G from now on, and you butchered it on your first opportunity to do so. With that said, I want to thank.
So well, it's a casual first name basis now, but hey, Pedro G. Thanks, bud.
I want to thank all of our listeners that were watching live and participating in the chats. Thank you for doing so. Hey, with that said, this has been the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. We are out.